The movie begins in the turbulent year of 1944, in the midst of the thunderous chaos of World War II. Gunfire echoes relentlessly across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Amid this perilous backdrop, we meet Captain Ellis, a steadfast and resilient American Marine, leading his unit through treacherous waters. Their mission takes a dark turn when they are ambushed by Japanese forces, resulting in brutal devastation. In the chaos, Ellis narrowly escapes, clinging to life on a small rubber raft. Alone and adrift on the endless sea, he drifts for days, exhausted, starving, and guided only by the distant horizon. Yet his will to survive remains unbroken. One day, his tired eyes catch sight of something, an island in the distance. Fueled by hope, Ellis musters the strength to paddle toward it. His arms burn with every stroke, but at last he reaches the shore. Securing his raft among jagged rocks, he steps onto the beach, his heart racing with a fragile sense of relief. The island is lush and wild, covered in towering trees, vibrant foliage, and rugged stone outcrops, but it's eerily silent. No signs of life. As he pushes deeper into the dense interior, something unexpected catches his eye. A modest church tucked quietly among the greenery. Its weathered exterior stands as a surprising symbol of faith and sanctuary. Approaching cautiously, Ellis sees a figure step from the shadows. A Catholic nun, Angela. Startled by his presence, Angela freezes, her eyes widen with fear. Sensing her alarm, Ellis raises his hands in peace and speaks gently. "Please, don't be afraid. I'm an American Marine. You're safe with me." His calm voice cuts through the tension. Angela slowly relaxes. When Ellis asks if there are others on the island, she answers softly but firmly, "I am here alone."
Ellis, skeptical of her solitary existence in such a remote location, struggles to accept her words. With a gentle gesture, Angela invites him to her simple shelter, a small, makeshift dwelling crafted from natural materials. There, she offers him food, a humble meal of fruits and roots, which he gratefully accepts, his body craving nourishment after days adrift. Curious about her solitude, Ellis inquires further. Angela explains her harrowing journey. She had come to the island with a priest on a mission to rescue elderly priests from advancing Japanese forces. Tragically, by the time they arrived, the enemy had already captured the priests, leaving them stranded. The war's chaos forced them to hide, but the priests succumbed to illness, leaving Angela alone. Her people, believing she had been taken by the Japanese, sent no rescue, abandoning her to this isolated existence. Ellis, moved by her story, shares his own. His unit was decimated in a surprise attack, and he barely escaped with his life, drifting aimlessly until fate brought him to this island. After a brief rest, Ellis awakens to find Angela kneeling in the dim light of her shelter, lighting candles with reverence and whispering prayers for divine guidance. Her faith a quiet strength in the face of uncertainty. Together, they set out to gather sustenance, their survival dependent on the island's resources. Ellis, with the agility of a seasoned soldier, climbs tall coconut trees, shaking down ripe fruits and passing them to Angela, who waits below, her hand steady as she collects their bounty. Recognizing the need for protein to regain his strength, Ellis spots a turtle gliding through the ocean's shallows. With a rope and a piece of driftwood, he prepares the raft, and Angela, determined to assist, joins him. They paddle toward the turtle, the sea's gentle waves lapping against their frail vessel. Capturing the creature proves challenging. The turtle's agility outpaces Ellis's efforts, and in a moment of miscalculation, he tumbles into the water, the cold sea engulfing him. Angela, quick to act, helps him regain his footing on the raft, and together they manage to secure the turtle. Their teamwork a testament to their growing trust. Back on the island, Ellis skillfully prepares and cooks the turtle, its savory aroma filling the air. As they eat, he remarks with newfound optimism, "This island provides everything we need. Even if rescue never comes, we can endure." Angela, curious about his past, asks about his family. Ellis reveals he is an orphan, raised in an orphanage until age 14, where he faced hardship, and Angela, in turn, shares her own story. An orphan like Ellis, she embraced the life of a nun, finding solace and joy in her unwavering faith, which inspires her to guide others toward hope. Despite their differing perspectives, Angela's serene spirituality contrasting with Ellis's hardened pragmatism, they forge a deep connection, their shared vulnerability bridging their worlds. The next morning, the roar of Japanese fighter planes overhead shatters their fragile peace. Ellis, instincts honed by combat, pulls Angela into the underbrush, warning that being spotted could mean death. He suggests they retreat to a cave he had noticed earlier, its shadowed entrance hidden among the rocks. Angela nods, trusting his judgment, and they spend the day concealed within its damp walls, the sound of their breathing mingling with the distant hum of war. At dawn, deafening explosions rock the island. Ellis peers out cautiously, witnessing Japanese planes bombing the landscape, leaving trails of smoke and destruction. Angela, trembling with fear, clutches her rosary and prays fervently, her lips moving in silent supplication. Ellis, moved by her distress, offers words of comfort, his hand resting gently on her shoulder. When the planes depart, they emerge to find their shelter and the church reduced to rubble, the island scarred by the assault. A Japanese squad arrives, establishing a weather station and destroying Ellis's raft, cutting off any chance of escape. Forced back into the cave, they watch as soldiers patrol nearby. Ellis, ever vigilant, grips a knife, ready to defend Angela, but the soldiers pass without discovering their hiding place. Angela, desperate and hungry, suggests surrendering, believing the Japanese might spare a nun, giving Ellis a chance to flee. She notes their food is nearly gone. Ellis, protective and resolute, refuses, saying, "We can't take that chance. They could do anything to you. We stay hidden." That evening, under the cover of darkness, Ellis sneaks out, observing the Japanese camps from a safe distance. Avoiding their patrols, he wades into the shallows to fish, his movements deliberate to avoid detection. A soldier spots him, and Ellis, thinking quickly, floats motionless, feigning death until the soldier moves on. He catches several fish and returns to the cave, where he and Angela share the meager meal. Ellis eats the raw fish readily, but Angela, who gave up fish upon becoming a nun, struggles to swallow it, her stomach rebelling. Unable to keep it down, she vomits and retires to sleep, her body weakened by hunger. Later, as Angela rests, Ellis ventures out again, darkening his face with soot to blend into the night. He infiltrates the Japanese camp, silently gathering food into a bag, canned goods and rice that could sustain them. A soldier approaches, forcing Ellis to hide behind crates, his heart pounding as he holds his breath. Trapped, he remains there through the night, unable to escape until dawn, when the soldiers are distracted by training drills. Seizing the moment, Ellis slips away with the food, hiding in the jungle until it's safe to return. Meanwhile, Angela awakens to find him gone, her heart seizing with panic as she fears he's been captured or killed. Tears stream down her face as she prays for his safety. When Ellis returns unharmed, Angela's relief is palpable, but her fear turns to anger. "You left without a word," she says, her voice trembling. "I thought you were dead." Ellis, remorseful, promises never to leave without telling her again. The next day, seeking to lift her spirits, Ellis presents Angela with a vibrant flower and a small wooden comb he crafted, gestures that bring a smile to her face. Curious about her future, he asks if she'd ever consider leaving her nun's life for a secular one. Angela reveals she hasn't taken her final vows, as nuns are given 5 years to make a definitive choice, and she remains uncertain about her path. Ellis, his affection for her growing, hopes she might reconsider her commitment. Their moment of connection is interrupted by noises. The Japanese soldiers are packing up, abandoning the island. Overjoyed, Ellis and Angela discover the supplies left behind, alleviating their food shortage. In this moment of reprieve, Ellis opens up, sharing the loneliness of his childhood and the struggles he faced. With vulnerability, he confesses, "I've fallen in love with you. After the war, please think about leaving your vows and marrying me." Angela, stunned, explains her devotion to God, unable to betray her faith for a romantic life. Ellis, though hurt, respects her choice, saying, "I'm sorry if my words upset you. Please forgive me." That night, while sharing a meal, Ellis discovers a bottle of Japanese sake among the supplies. Drinking heavily, he becomes intoxicated and, in a lapse of judgment, dismisses Angela's vows as meaningless, comparing their isolation to Adam and Eve in a primal Eden. Deeply hurt, Angela flees into the jungle, the rain soaking her as she collapses, falling asleep in the cold. Ellis, sobering, searches frantically but cannot find her in the dark. At dawn, he discovers her unconscious, her body chilled from exposure. He carries her toward the abandoned camp, but notices the Japanese have returned, forcing him to retreat to the cave. Angela's condition deteriorates, her breathing shallow. Risking everything, Ellis sneaks into the Japanese camp, stealing blankets and medicine. A soldier spots him, and in a desperate act, Ellis kills the man with his knife, hiding the body to avoid detection. Back at the cave, he changes Angela's wet clothes to keep her warm, administers the medicine, and, for the first time, prays for her recovery, his skepticism giving way to hope. When Angela regains consciousness, she asks who changed her clothes. Ellis explains it was necessary to save her life and apologizes for his drunken words. She forgives him, their bond deepened by mutual understanding. Suddenly, explosions erupt outside. The Japanese, having found their soldier's body, are bombing the island, hunting for Ellis. Soldiers approach the cave, shouting, "Come out, or we'll throw a grenade." Faced with surrender or death, Angela prays, believing their end is near. At that moment, louder explosions resound. American Navy planes are attacking the Japanese forces. Stepping outside, Ellis and Angela witness the assault, their hearts lifted by the sight of American planes. Ellis notes the Japanese have positioned 4 cannons, making an American landing dangerous. He tells Angela, "I must disable those cannons to save my comrades, as God would wish." Angela, though fearful, agrees. Dodging bombs, Ellis navigates the battlefield, where most Japanese soldiers lie dead. Injured by shrapnel, he presses on, disabling each cannon with precision, his actions saving countless American lives. Angela, emerging from the cave, finds him wounded and tends to his injuries with care. Ellis, weakened, says, "Our paths diverge now. We may never meet again." Angela, her voice soft, replies, "Though I cannot be with you, you'll always remain in my heart." The American Navy lands, raising its flag in victory. The Navy captain, astonished to see Ellis alive, had presumed him lost. Medics place Ellis on a stretcher, and Angela follows, her presence a quiet farewell. Ellis never pressures Angela about his feelings, honoring her choice to pursue her nun's life. Angela, in turn, cherishes their connection. The story illustrates that true love transcends physical togetherness, existing in the heart despite separation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.